Though the franchise hasn't enjoyed a major success in a little over 20 years, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre may very well be coming back in the near future. Originally co-created by Kim Henkel and Tobe Hooper, the horror series revolving around a cannibalistic family in the titular state remains one of the genre's most iconic properties, even if one of its poorer-received ones. After Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre kept the franchise's negative review streak going in 2022, its future has been in an unclear place. Now, Deadline reports that production company Verve, who have held the rights to the series since 2017, is currently meeting with prospective candidates for a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Though the studio noted to the publication that they have not officially submitted the rights to any filmmakers or producers, other sources report that one of the biggest parties currently interested in developing the next installment is Strange Darling's JT Molnar, who is said to be working with producer Roy Lee to develop a pitch for a new installment. While there is not currently a script or deals in place for Molnar and Lee to develop, sources also report that Glenn Powell is interested in reading Molnar's Texas Chainsaw Massacre material for the possibility of starring. Beyond the Twister's star, the report also indicates that the Strange Darling duo's version has attracted the interest of Lionsgate and A24, while the publication also predicts that Neon will look to present a pitch with the Monkey's Ounce Perkins. A representative for Verve provided the following statement to the publication: "What this means for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's future. It marks an interesting first for one interested party." While the Verve representative's comments are clearly meant to temper expectations of how far along the reported discussions are, those being eyed for the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie mark an interesting mix of choices. To this point, Molnar has only 2 released films to his name, those being the Western thriller Outlaws and Angels and the thriller Strange Darling, which was one of the most acclaimed films of 2024, maintaining a 96% approval rating from critics on Rotten Tomatoes and garnering praise from Stephen King. Molnar also penned the script for the upcoming King adaptation, The Long Walk. A full list may not have been given for the studios interested in the title, but A24 and Lionsgate wanting to help develop the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre makes sense. The former found widespread success with 2022's X, with praise particularly directed towards its homages to the franchise and other 70s horror classics. The latter, on the other hand, has already been part of the franchise's history, having released 2 of the prior installments, which were also poorly received. See how Lionsgate's Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies compared to the others on Rotten Tomatoes in the chart below. Arguably, one of the more interesting takeaways from the report is that Glenn Powell is potentially interested in Molnar's Texas Chainsaw Massacre treatment. Across his 22-year career, the closest he's come to appearing in the horror genre was Ryan Murphy's short-lived horror comedy show Scream Queens, having since found success in the world of action and comedy thanks to the likes of Top Gun, Maverick, Hitman, and Twisters. That being said, considering Powell is a Texas native, it makes sense he'd be keen to be part of one of the state's biggest franchises. Our take on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's future. Molnar working with a clean slate is exactly what's needed. Leatherface first face peel. As much as I do broadly enjoy most of the franchise, the prospect of Molnar taking on the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie is a promising one, permitted that he's allowed to work with a clean slate. The franchise has tried twice to go the way of a legacy sequel, and both didn't utilize the formula well, while the 2003 remake remains one of the better efforts since the original. If Molnar is allowed to completely go back to basics without being weighed down by prior lore, he and Powell could bring the franchise back to life.